I like that track so much yesterday for It's So New. I played it again today as my pick of the day. And speaking of pick of the day, my recap of last week's tracks is now up on our social media platforms at KBear 101 FM on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube Shorts at KBear 101 RMG. Just me playing brief snippets of all the songs I played last week for Peach's pick of the day. So that way, if you missed out on any track, you can just use that as a reference if you wanted to check out those tracks on your own. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. Earlier on my lunch break, I was watching this guy's vlog about him going to WWE WrestlePalooza. And I have to say, that has to be one of the worst names for a crazy event for wrestling I have ever heard. Could you imagine trying to be all tough? You're in your trunks, you're in these giant boots, and you're screaming to another dude, hey, I'll see you at WrestlePalooza where I'll kick your butt. Doesn't that sound kind of silly? I'll see you at WrestlePalooza, brother. WrestlePalooza, what a lame name. Everybody has said the exact same thing that I'm saying online as well, so I'm not the only one. I wonder if they'll get rid of that, if that will just go down as one of the worst events. I don't think the matches were all that bad. I think the overall setup for it didn't look great. This particular YouTuber, he has millions of subscribers, so he can pay that $4,000 ticket to get the front row seat and witness the entire thing. And he was being honest, really, about his terrible experience with just going to Indianapolis, trying to attend all the prior events, watching the whole thing. $4,000 for an event is ridiculous. I can't imagine paying $400 for something, let alone $4,000 to go watch two dudes, pretend to beat each other up. Anyway, Peach's Pit Party will be back here in just a few on this fine Tuesday, September 23rd. It's KBear 101. Speaking of the American Nightmare, KBear's Halloween music starts on Monday. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? For the on-air people, I'll stop my usual music beds. I still have the Halloween music beds from last year that I put below me. This one's called Stalker. That one's not that creepy. What's this one? It's somewhat. I like this one. For those listening to the Peach's Pit Party podcast, they're going to be like, what music beds are you talking about? Because if you ever tune into the Peach's Pit Party podcast, you don't hear anything besides me talking directly to you, and that's literally it. Maybe I shouldn't include this break on the podcast version of the show, just because it's not going to make sense to anybody. But anyway, our Halloween music starts on Monday. Yeah, 2 Halloweenish songs every hour. Yeah, yesterday was the first day of fall, and now we're getting into the spooky season. We got that going on. We got the Chevelle ticket giveaway going on. We got plenty of concerts in the near future. I'm excited for this weekend. Just booked the Airbnb. And the one thing I truly dislike about Airbnbs is that there are some people who just want to meet you. Like, they're the hosts of the place you're staying at, and they want to say hi or something like that. It's like, no, please, can I just go to my place, go to the room you're providing, spend the night, and then dip? Do I really need to say hi to this person? Well, the ratings for these people are through the roof. They're like a guest favorite. It says on the app, usually they're booked, which I feel like that's a way to kind of sucker you into booking it as fast as possible. But anyway, like, I told them, hey, I'm going to be returning. I'm going to be going to a concert, and I most likely won't be able to go to the Airbnb prior to the concert. I'll be getting there around like 11 p.m. after the show. So if they want to stay up and say hello, I mean, be my guest. But if anything, I just say hi to them the next morning. But do I really need to? I don't think so. It's one of those places where they put the pictures of the front yard over the the inside of the place, which kind of concerns me. And it was also pretty cheap. So who knows? Maybe all of a sudden on Monday when I get back, I just talk about how bad the Airbnb was. and how not to book this particular place. No, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that whatsoever. But once again, like I said, they have a high rating. They have a whole bunch of high ratings. Should be just fine. Very excited for Hollywood Undead, Point North, Autumn Kings at the Complex in Salt Lake City this weekend. Then on Tuesday, we got Chevelle, Asking Alexandria, Dead Poet Society. Then Friday, Mudvayne, Static X, and Vended live at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater in Pocatello. Then a week from that day, got In This Moment, Dayseeker, The Funeral Portrait, and Dead at the Mountain America Center. And then I don't really know what's after that. Maybe I'll check out the concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. We're seeing more and more stories like this where people are not getting their way at a restaurant, and so they do something drastic to completely, ruin their lives, ruin other people's lives too. The culprit will immediately go to prison. The restaurant suffers. Wasn't there a story not that long ago? I believe there's been multiple stories with the same thing where, like, somebody didn't get a ketchup packet with their to-go order in the drive-thru, so they come back with guns, and start shooting up a storm. Terrible, terrible thing to do. There was also that one story about the guy that spent 4 years just seething with anger at this one place in New York, and he ended up going back and stabbing the sandwich owner, the sandwich shop owner, because he forgot tomatoes on his hoagie, something like that. Well, this restaurant forgot to put mayonnaise on this guy's food. So the customer lit the cafe on fire because he didn't get mayonnaise. Luckily enough, Hellman's is stepping in and saying, hey, we'll offer to pay for the damages. We're so sorry. I guess this customer asked for a couple packets of mayonnaise with his sandwich. The counter worker informed him the cafe did not have any. Then things took an odd turn. The owner of the cafe, in an Instagram post, alleged the customer went to a nearby gas station, bought a container of gas, returned to the cafe, and asked once more for mayonnaise. When he was told once again there was none to give, he allegedly doused the counter with gasoline and set it on fire, causing damages between around like $8,000 to $11,000. Now, what goes through a person's head when they do something like this? Like, I'll show them. Did they just watch some movie where, like, the evil guy is on a tear and they get motivated by this dude or something like that? I mean, what happens in their head? They go, you know what? This is the final straw. This almost seems like a scene out of that movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas, which is a fantastic movie. Nothing to recreate. If you ever watched it, if you have watched it, well, you know the ending of it. But if you haven't watched Falling Down with Michael Douglas, you should. It's a crazy movie, but it's pretty cool. Not pretty cool. It's pretty good. Wasn't it yesterday I talked about that one 75-year-old bus driver that punished his students or punished the kids on the bus by saying, hey, roll up those windows. I'm going to crank the heat. You guys are clearly not acting right. No, he literally said to the kids, I'm going to cook you all. Well, he's most likely unemployed. I didn't see see what happened after that incident, but I guess all the kids on the bus got off screaming and crying, and they were extremely sweaty, and it was hard for them to breathe because it was 75 degrees. This happened like on Wednesday, but the story came out yesterday. It was 75 degrees in Pittsburgh where this guy was at, and so the inside of the bus was like 95 to 100 degrees. The kids, of course, suffering between the ages of 5 and 12. Well, now I'm reading about this South Carolina high school employee that was arrested after investigators said he used a poop odor spray in the school, causing some students to get sick and thousands of dollars in damages. He's a teaching assistant. They released his full name. Alexander Lewis was arrested by deputies. Between August 25th and September 19th, Lewis allegedly used an internet-acquired spray designed to imitate, at the school. Investigators say Lewis used the spray several times, causing disruptions at school and some students to need medical attention for breathing problems. Did he spray it on the kids? Oh, no, he would put it in the air conditioning system. Did I already read that? Am I just dumb? According to the sheriff's office, the district spent more than $55,000 for inspections and also to repair the high school's air conditioning system. So he was just punishing those students? Or was he just thinking it was like some sort of prank? It's bad when your full name and also it's bad when your full name gets released and also your mugshot is everywhere and you make national news, especially when you have the words poop spray next to your name doesn't look good for this guy. The Miami Hurricanes might have started a new tradition in college football, eating a defeated team's mascot. Miami beat the Florida Gators on Saturday, so in the locker room after the game, the team chowed down on a big spread of barbecued gator. The number two ranked Hurricanes have a multitude of animals left on their schedule: Cardinals, Louisville, and Stanford, Mustangs, and a wolf pack. Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels hit his 400th home run over the weekend, and he got the ball back from the fan who caught it for the price of an autograph and a round of catch. And Trout's achievement also produced one of those quirky numbers that baseball nerds love. He's hit exactly 200 of those home runs at home and 200 on the road. And he's the third player to achieve that balance after Fred McGriff and Jason Giambi. The NFL sent out a memo that's causing a bit of a stir. It says teams can deny players permission to compete in a high-profile flag football event in Saudi Arabia. While the league isn't totally banning players, it is giving teams the final say. The move comes as Saudi Arabia continues to invest big bucks in global sports, including hosting the World Flag Football Championship. It's a club decision, the memo states, which leaves players in limbo if their team isn't on board. That does it for your very brief Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Oh, here we go. Fat Bear Week is here. This week is every wild brown bear fan's favorite week of the year. Man, that was hard to get out. It's Fat Bear Week. If you're not familiar with this, Fat Bear Week follows the Alaskan brown bears as they prepare for hibernation by eating as much as they can. Webcams stationed in Alaska's Katmai National Park focus on the Brooks River as the bears munch on migrating salmon for the past 11 years. Millions of viewers have been tuning into YouTube to watch a live stream of the bears bulking up. To make things even more interesting, viewers can cast their vote for the fattest bear with a winner to be crowned at the end of the week. Last year's big winner was this 800-pound bear named Grazer. This year's contenders were announced on Monday, entered into a tournament-style bracket. Let's go ahead and see, where are the bears? Let me see the bears. All right, here we go. Oh, I can vote for... Oh, they have weird names. 128 yearling, 609. That's the name of a bear. Then there's bear 503 versus bear 901. Oh, there's the whole tournament bracket starting today, ends on September 30th. If you want to find the link from what I'm looking at, or for what I'm looking at, not from what I'm looking at, explore.org/fatbearweek. That should take you directly to it. I talked about this quite a while ago, actually, but for some reason it's back in the news. There's this trend sparking debate on socials called grandma showers, as in baby showers for grandmothers. Instead of celebrating the actual mom, these parties put the spotlight on the soon-to-be grandma. So reactions have been mixed. Many question the need for these parties in the first place. I'm one of those people. Supporters say it makes sense, especially if the grandmother was helping with, especially if the grandmother will be helping with childcare. Having baby stuff at her house, like a crib or diapers, can be super practical. Critics, on the other hand, also call it tacky. And I like this term here, peak boomer entitlement. I need to celebrate me, too, because without me, they wouldn't be here. I mean, that is true, but at the same time, I mean, the mom's about to, give birth herself. She needs to, I don't know, be celebrated. I mean, these useless parties to me are all kind of silly. But I mean, hey, if you get some free stuff out of it, cool. If you need to get that, if you get those free diapers, those that crib gifted to you, might as well invite a billionaire to your baby shower. They won't show up, but maybe they'll send you something. Who knows? Hey, do you want to be that cheap person? You want to cut costs to the point where you just gather everything out of your fridge and make it into a sandwich? That seems like a feasible option, right? Apparently that's a thing where somebody online said, hey, why don't you do this? It's called the kitchen sink sandwich. Pretty much anything that you have in the fridge, cheese, the last bit of salsa in the jar, jam, beans, meats, carrot sticks, fruit inside 2 slices of bread. I guess Erin Hogaboom, that's a sick last name, Hogaboom, shares her weekly kitchen sink sandwiches on TikTok in a series that has racked up millions of views. And I can guarantee you she's staging these. She's not exactly taking the last of things in her fridge. Like, could you imagine if there was just like this open pack of sardines or something weird like that just left over in her fridge? Puts together a mega Scooby-Doo style sandwich, takes a bite out of it, throws up on cam. I mean, that would really drive up views. What do I have in my fridge? I have a whole bunch of sodas that I had for when my friends came to Idaho Falls for the first time in 4 years, and they barely drank any of the sodas, so there's a whole bunch of those. There's leftover beef stew for when I made that. There is also leftover Mongolian. Should I put together one of the worst sandwiches possible and post it on our TikTok just for everybody's entertainment? Who knows? Maybe I will. K-Bear 101 FM on TikTok. My phone is blowing up right now with the group chat between me, my friend Jose, my friend Matt, just because I texted something and then somehow the conversation turned political, and now Matt and Jose are having this giant argument back and forth with each other while I'm trying to do a radio show here. I was looking at this thread. What's something people think is romantic but actually feels creepy? All right, let's go through this here. Deciding to get someone to fall for them by being persistent, which is also the plot of every 90s rom-com. Yeah, no kidding. But by the 6th time, that's when I fell for him. It's kind of like when I get the same text message from the doctor's office saying that I owe a balance. Like by the 12th text message that I got within a week, that's when I decided to finally pay the bill. You know what? I need to do so, but still at the same time, like spamming somebody with anything will always get on their nerves. It will never, ever, ever work. What's something people think is romantic but actually feels creepy? Anything romantic becomes creepy if you're not interested. Another true statement right there. Showing up at their house, work, etc., unannounced. The only person I've ever done that to is my friend Bryson. I would just show up to his apartment and be like, hey, dude, you want to hang out today? And he'll go, sure, and we'll just sit there and talk. That's about it, really. Not creepy at all. It's been talked about all day today, all over the internet. Not just Tylenol, no. Talking about the Rapture supposedly here today or tomorrow. I believe it started out with this South African preacher saying that, like, today or tomorrow, I forgot which day it is the first day of the Jewish New Year, something like that. And that the rapture is going to be here, you know, that type of thing. And of course, it's causing fear all online. Everybody does this thing every couple of years where they say, oh, actually, the magical date the world is going to end is this day. I remember back in middle school watching that stupid history video in Miss Giovanazzi's class. It was all about the Mayans and how their calendar ended on December 21st, 2012. And I can tell you, I was scared for my life. Like, I was beyond petrified that was going to happen. And then sure enough, the day comes, nothing goes on. Nothing goes on whatsoever. They made that movie 2012 about the world actually ending. You know, it had a weird ending too. Like everybody just went onto a giant boat or something like that. I forgot exactly. I might need to rewatch it. 13 years later. God, I can't believe that. 2016 in 4 months, by the way, will be a decade ago. Isn't that wild? So anyway, going back to the whole rapture thing, there are people just causing mayhem just because they do think the world is going to supposedly end. That, or they're just doing it because they want to prank people, you know? Josh from Classy 97 was talking about this one guy that said, hey, I'm just going to play the trumpet as loud as possible right here in my neighborhood at like 6 a.m. in the morning. If it is supposedly the rapture, you know, can guarantee nothing's going to happen. I saw earlier today an advertisement of a T-shirt that was like, hey, I survived the rapture, and it showed all the different dates that supposedly it was coming. Yeah, No, I wonder how many people are going to buy that and just continue to add on even more dates. Hey, so tomorrow, listen for that cue to call again for tickets to go see Chevelle Asking Alexandria Dead Poet Society live at the Mountain America Center on Tuesday next week. It is going to be a fun show. Very excited, really, for all three bands. And I always say, support the openers, all right? Asking Alexandria, they're a well-known band, but I'm talking about Dead Poet Society. There's been a lot of people as of late who really just irritate me when they buy concert tickets, and then they proceed to just go for the headliner or they go for the opener and then just dip afterwards, right? It's rather dumb to pay that much money for a concert ticket and then go for like a third of the entertainment. There's really no defense against what I'm saying right now, really. To just go to the show, watch all the bands, you'll have a great time, maybe even discover one of your new favorites. All right? Do so. Chevelle Asking Alexandria, Dead Poet Society, live at the Mountain America Center. And even if the band you go ahead and see you don't like, at least you know then, right? At least you know, hey, I saw this band and they were just awful. That type of thing. Tomorrow, listen for, not back-to-back, listen for that cue to call, Big Caller 20, and then we'll play that game of finish that lyric in order for you to win tickets to that show. Very excited for it. If you want to buy your tickets, you can go to the concert calendar. It's posted on there, riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. And there you go. We'll see you at the show. Here's Lorna Shore, Unbreakable on Peach's Pit Party. All right, it's really tough today to try to figure out which story to talk about for what the headline. I see here this guy needed cash, so he stole the whole ATM machine, or I could choose a Florida woman who's in jail for a silly string attack. You know what? Let's just go for the Florida woman, and I'll talk about the other story in the next break. This one woman, Christy Watts, allegedly sprayed a man with silly string during a confrontation at a bar Thursday night. Last Thursday night, when the can ran out, she reportedly just threw it at him, hitting him in the forehead, causing a cut. It's unclear what sparked the confrontation. She was arrested, charged with battery. Would it have gone smoothly if she didn't throw the can at him like an idiot? And what causes somebody to just be slightly mad to the point where they're like, well, I can't throw a full-on punch at this guy. I'll instead pull out the silly string, which I don't know how she had or why she had it. If she just brought it in her purse to the bar and was like, you know what? I'll spray the guy. That'll show him. That, or like for some reason the bar had it on standby in case of emergency. Use this silly string. I'm going to spend all evening thinking about how this person or why this person had silly string at the bar. Okay, let's go through the story together because I want to know about this one person just stealing an entire ATM machine. This woman in Thailand said her husband told her he was going out at night to meet up with some friends, and she thought nothing of it until she got the surprising phone call from police letting her know that her husband was in jail for stealing an entire ATM machine. He was caught dragging it through the streets with a pickup truck. He had apparently used a chain hoist to lift the machine into the back of a black Mazda and took off driving against traffic before being stopped by police. So he wasn't even trying to be, secret about it. Going through oncoming traffic, authorities say the truck had no license plate. The suspect was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Investigators believed he was motivated by financial stress. They say he and his wife lost a lot of money in a failed restaurant business. The wife told police she had no idea her husband was going to rip off an entire ATM. Do I believe that? Do I believe that she was somewhat in on it and they both thought it was a great idea to just steal an entire machine? Isn't it impossible to open one of those? Not that I would know, of course, but I mean, let's see here. What is Google going to tell me? Is it impossible to open up an ATM machine? Oh, somebody asked a year ago on Quora how to efficiently and quickly cut open an ATM's cash door. I guess somebody must have been planning for a heist a year ago. Maybe it was this couple. Maybe it was the husband. I love how the AI overview told me, no, it's not impossible to open an ATM, but it is extremely difficult, dangerous, and illegal. ATMs, they're designed with those high security safes, multiple layers of anti-tampering technology. Criminals who attempt to break into them face significant legal charges for safe cracking and theft. Did I just get myself slightly in trouble for looking that up in the first place? I might have. You know how the radio prep will sometimes give you like, oh, here's a dumb survey. You know, here's a survey from Retail Me Not saying that people are splurging on Halloween. Well, that's actually happening. Even with prices going up, most people are not skipping on Halloween this year. Should I spend an entire show just talking like that? Like Casey Kasem? Spending is expected to hit a record $13.1 billion. With the average person shelling out about $92. Now, here's the thing. Are they actually planning on giving that candy out to trick-or-treaters, or are they planning on buying those giant bags of candy to just eat on their own? That's something that I would do. This is the time of the year where, like, the retail shops, they have those giant bags of candy right there up front, and you can buy them at a cheaper price, not necessarily the best price, but a decent price. I can buy 5 pounds of Butterfingers, and it's perfectly acceptable to do so, right? Usually if you do that any other time of year, people are going to look at you funny. But Halloween, the spoopy season, because if you're buying it this early, who wants that candy sitting around your pantry, and then once finally Halloween hits, October 31st, do you plan on giving that out? Are people just buying those bags right now just to, you know, feed the family, or the family can have as a nice little treat? I might text my girlfriend right now and be like, hey, you want to go to Walmart real quick and grab a giant bag of candy, and we can just enjoy nice little treats from now to Halloween? I feel like that's needed. It's again that time for To Peach Their Own, and as per usual, the internet just sucks. It's been downright negative, and now there's all this Rapture stuff online. There's the Tylenol stuff. So you know what? I decided to go positive yet again for To Peach Their Own, just to kind of, I don't know, get people happy again. Who knows? Me, out of all people, being positive, that's saying something, right? So for To Peach Their Own today, what's a small, everyday thing that instantly makes your day better? What is it? Let me know. 208-535-1015. Again, the question, what's a small, everyday thing that instantly makes your day better? Let me know. Call in now for To Peach Their Own. K-Bear, what's going on?
Hello, Peaches.
What's happening?
Well, just driving back from the job site. You know, the usual.
Very nice.
So, your happiness. Not much of it lately, but hey, driving down the side of the road, you know, out in the middle of nowhere, and you see a bunch of cattle, it always makes my day to see the calves playing. I don't know.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Get to yell cows at the window. I know every time I drive past the Idaho Falls Zoo, the backside of it at least, that I yell camels as loud as possible when I see the two parents and their little tiny camel. And the little tiny camel has two little humps on its back, and it's quite adorable. K-Bear, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Peaches?
Doing great. Now, you here to answer today's To Peach Their Own?
I am. I have one for you.
Okay.
Being complimented or shown appreciation about what you do at work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that rarely ever happens here, but when it does, it's quite appreciated.
It is.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good one for your question for the day.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
208-535-1015. What's a small everyday thing that instantly makes your day better? I'm looking here at the answers on the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group. Lindsay, sleeping in or a nap, maybe both. James, bacon, eggs, and a strong cup of black coffee. Mike, watching some idiot driver get pulled over. That's always great, especially when they cut you off or something like that, and then you see them a little bit further ahead, just pulled over by the cop. Oh, it's so nice. Love that. 208-535-1015. What's a small everyday thing that instantly makes your day better? Let me know. K-Bear, what is happening?
What's up, buddy?
What's going on with you?
Here to answer your question.
Yeah, what's a small everyday thing that instantly makes your day better?
Being able to turn on and listen to K-Bear, the only real rock station in Idaho.
That's the real answer right there. Heck yeah. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, aka Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.